death, the last day, resurrection, and the world hereafter are real, then the next most important question that arises for our serious consideration is about the real purpose of our creation. The noble Quran says in chapter 23 verse 115, Afa hasibatum annama khalaqnakum abathan wa annakum ilayna la turja'un. Did you think that we had created you in joke and that you would not be brought back to us? So man is created for a specific purpose. And after his death, he will be brought before Allah to evaluate whether he had fulfilled the mission for which he had been created. Verse 56 of chapter 51 of the glorious Quran says, وَمَا خَلَقَتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have only created the jinn and humankind that they might worship me. The noble Quran also says in verse 2 of chapter 67, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ أَمَلًا. He has created death and life that he may try which of you is best in good deeds. From the above verses we understand that Allah has created us to worship him and to do good deeds according to his commands. The Quran as well as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have elaborately explained to us what good deeds are. Good deeds mean to believe strictly in the oneness of God, to worship him and him alone, to pray to him alone, and never to associate anyone or anything with him. To believe in his messengers, in the last day, in the day of judgment, and to believe in the world hereafter. To be sincere in belief and live as per the commands of the Holy Quran and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To do such deeds that will earn the pleasure of Allah, and to desist from matters which Allah has categorically prohibited. To love the neighbor and never to eat your fill when the neighbor remains hungry. To give him protection even if you are required to sacrifice your own life. To do justice to everyone. Not to kill innocent people. Not to commit adultery. Not to indulge in homosexuality or lesbianism. Not to tamper with weights and measures. Not to steal. Not to cheat. Not to speak ill of about women. To speak the truth even at the face of a cruel dictator. To control one's own emotions and not to panic during crisis. To be patient when your dear and near ones die, or when you suffer from a serious illness or a financial setback. To be soft-spoken and not to be arrogant. To be truthful and not to lie. To be fair and not to oppress. To be trustworthy and not to betray anyone. To keep and fulfill promises and never to break them. To respect and obey parents and not to be neglectful of them. To keep a relationship with kith and kin and not to breach family ties. And to have a good relationship with neighbors. In short, good deeds signify to proclaim and practice everything that is good, as well as to detest and shun everything that is evil. In short, to fulfill the purpose of our creation means doing all good deeds that Allah has asked us to do and refraining from those deeds that Allah has prohibited. Only in this way we can attain real salvation, that is success in the next world. The glorious Quran says in verse 134 of chapter 2, لَهَا مَا كَسَبَتُ وَلَكُمْ مَا كَسَبْتُمْ وَلَا تُسْأَلُونَ إِمَّا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. They shall get a reward for what they did, and you will get what you did. You will not be questioned for what they did. The noble Quran also says in verse 38 of chapter 53, Allah taziru waziratun wizra ukhra. No bearer of burden can bear the burden of another. From the above verses, we can understand that everyone will be recompensed in the next world according to his actions in this worldly life, and that he does not have to bear the sins of any other but himself. The same truth is stated in the Bible. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 16, it's written, "No father will be punished for the sins of his son, and no son will be punished for the sins of his father, and everyone will be judged according to his deeds." Prophet Jesus alayhi salam, may peace from Allah be upon him, teaches us in Gospel of Matthew chapter 7 verse 1, "You will be judged in the manner you judge others, and you will be measured in the manner you measure others." In the holy books of the Hindus, the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, etc., also it is stated that everyone will be given the reward and punishment as per the good deeds as well as the sins he has committed. It is indeed unfortunate that this great warning of Almighty God has been ignored. Moreover, people with vested interest have added to the text of many scriptures innovations, like the belief in the original sin, the belief that Jesus is the Son of God and that He died on the cross for the sins of others, and the belief that we have to pass through a cycle of births and rebirths to get ourselves purified in order to attain salvation.